Well, we have about 1 minute before we begin. Oh, I need to get my bell. Ooh. Well, Boker Tov. Boker or everyone. I think we're beginning about a minute earlier than we usually do, but that's okay. It's good that some of you have joined me. I'm glad that you're with me on this Tuesday morning, this election day. You know, there is a lot of tension, a lot of stress, a lot of worry and anxiety in our country right now. Most of us cannot remember a time when there was as much animosity and division in this country as there is now. We have always had political differences, but somehow we've been able to see each other as friends, even if we have disagreed with one another about matters of policy, matters of ideology. We have still been able to relate to each other on a human level. That seems more difficult these days. People are so emotional about their political stands on various things. They are so passionate in their support of their candidates and their parties, and I think this is something that we ought to meditate about. I think when our emotions get so overwhelming, I don't think we make good choices. When our emotions get the better of us, I think we lose sight of what's really important. And what I think is really important is goodwill, compassion, a sense of justice, and a sense of compromise, to listen to other people, not just people that we agree with. That's easy. I think what we need to do from a spiritual point of view, where spirituality intersects with politics, is to be able to listen to somebody, and if they're saying something that we do not agree with, and we feel our emotions rising, and we want to cut them off, or we want to tell them that they're stupid, or they're ignorant, or they're blind. You know, we have these thoughts. These thoughts come into our minds when we're talking to someone of a different political persuasion. But I think it's then that we are challenged to be mindful. That is not to say that we avoid the conversation. That is not to say that we give up on our core beliefs and our stands on the issues. That's not to say that we're necessarily going to change our vote, but it means listening to the other person, maybe challenging the other person, but doing so not from a place of fiery and angry, from emotions, but from a place that has a certain compassionate detachment. Meaning, when we see ourselves overwhelmed by our emotions, then we need to meditate on that. We need to be aware of that and realize that that's not going to get us anywhere. We need to be engaged citizens. That's so basic. We need to be engaged, but we should never write off anyone else. We shouldn't assume that somebody that we disagree with is either stupid or evil, because chances are they are neither. But to listen, and maybe to concede a point here or there. To listen. And that doesn't mean that we shouldn't try to persuade each other or challenge each other, but we need to do it from a place of love, a place of compassion, a place of stillness. And we need to listen. This is mindfulness at its best. Our country is anything but mindful right now. Our country is so angry, so divided. And I think those of us who look at things from a spiritual point of view, those of us who want to see the best for our country, regardless of our politics, and those of us who are, for want of a better phrase, on a spiritual path, we need to do it from a place of mindfulness, a place of calmness, of stillness. And when we see anger rising on us, in ourselves, we need to breathe into it and release it. And we need to trace back that anger to whatever we're thinking. And often we're thinking the very worst of the person with whom we are engaged in our conversation. And that is not a healthy thing to do. So what I would like us to do on this very important first Tuesday of November is to meditate on this, on being mindful in a politically over-emotional and angry period in our country's history. So put your feet flat on the floor and just find yourself in a place where you're unlikely to be disturbed for the next few moments, and let us meditate on this challenging spiritual exercise. Allow your eyes to close. Put your feet flat on the floor and become conscious of your breathing. Notice how your breath enters and exits your body without any effort on your part whatsoever. And let us ease into a beautiful, calm, still, wakeful meditation. Check in with your body. Notice those places in your body where you are comfortable, restful. And take note of those parts of your body that might not be as comfortable as they might be. And as you become mindful of what's happening in your body, you become centered and peaceful. And you know that your body informs you of where your spirit and where your mind are at this time. If you're feeling tension in your stomach or your shoulders, you know that there is tension, there is stress in your soul, in your mind at this time. And so we breathe into those parts of our body that are feeling stress this morning. Breathe into those parts of your body that are feeling stressful. Hold the breath and then breathe out. And as you exhale, you let go of the stress in that particular part of your body. And we become aware of what we are feeling emotionally this morning. Where are you emotionally this morning? Are you calm? Are you agitated? Are you fearful? Are you content? Anxious? Peaceful? Where are you emotionally this morning? Go back to your body and see how that emotion is affecting your body. Whatever the emotion is, how is it affecting your body? When you feel something emotionally, you have a physical reaction to that emotion. When you calm your body, you begin to calm your emotions as well. And we also check in with our thoughts this morning. What thoughts are coming into our minds? What images, what dialogues are pervading our minds this morning? And we know that our thoughts are not real, they're just thoughts. Takes on reality, but not reality itself. In a mindful life, we look at reality without judgment. We just look at reality. We look at what is happening around us from the most truthful point of view as possible, without judgment. We occupy that part of our mind that observes objectively from a detached and higher place. We look at ourselves with compassion. We look at those around us compassionately. We look at our community, our country, with love. And we know that we can be in the presence of someone with a different political outlook and truly care about that person. We have the ability to disagree and still love that person and to find goodness in that person. And we listen. We listen to the other person. We listen to their concerns. And we try and see the world the way they do. Doesn't mean we agree with them, but we try to understand their feelings, their thoughts. And we listen. And we're ready to concede a point here or there that we've, and we're not stubborn, we listen. We are mindful of what they're saying. We're mindful of what they're feeling as well. We're curious about the way they think. And we're ready to share and celebrate our common humanity with those with whom we disagree. And we ask God to bless our country on this very important day and to bring us together in our common humanity, in our common shared love for this country. Take a deep breath, hold it, and let it go. Take another deep breath, hold it, and release it. Take one more, and release it. Open your eyes and adjust to the light. You know, our country has to change. We have to get more people to be respectful and to be mindful of what they're feeling, what they're saying. We have to get, it's people like you and I who need to remind everyone that we encounter that we're all human beings, every one of us made in the image of God, everyone doing the best that he or she can do. And we have to respect each other. So, Boker Tov, Boker Or, and remember to smile, and remember to bring a smile to the face of at least one other person that you encounter along your life's journey today. Now, at noon, Rachel Kaplan is going to have a nosh and schmooze. It's about, I think her subject today is about nursing care in America. And that's something we all ought to think about. It's an important subject, and I know she's got an interesting guest that she will be interviewing. So that will be at noon. It will be at noon. So you may want to check in with that. Okay. Kennedy, how are you? Hold on. I'd love to. I just finished my election day meditation. And, but